Humpday.
And
hello and welcome to a Gypsy Kiss. It's Humpday Hoedown, and I'm the magical treasure princess, life coach to the rich and famous, Shelley Carney.
hey, and I'm Toby Younis, Administrative Assistant to the Magical Treasure Princess and her Chief of Security. Thanks for joining us tonight. We have a good show planned for you. I've got one email to read, but I'm sure we'll get some text messages, some voicemails. I actually do have a voicemail, but it was on a completely other matter, which is kind of fun. Stick with us. We're going to have a great hump day getting through the week. We just had a great interview with another one of my daughters on Sales Leaders Institute. And it was cute when she talked about getting through Wednesdays. You need to go see that. I'll post it later. Hump day, indeed, hump day, isn't it?
Hump day, hump day.
Day. You're just watching those things go. All right, let's
Hump
take
day
care
night.
of some business. Remember to like this video. YouTube likes it when you like our videos. The Magical Treasure Princess loves it. Do that little heart thing, when you like our videos, because that makes such a good. That makes such a good thumbnail. Like it when you like our videos. Share it with your family, your friends, your neighbors, your business associates, the entirety of your ever-expanding social network so that we can
Grow the channel. Whoa.
Finally, if you're not already a subscriber, this would be the ideal time to subscribe.
Auga.
And when you see that notifications bell then ring, your microphone just attenuates the notifications bell. And that way, when we start a live stream, you'll get a notification and you'll be, I didn't say that right, though. Once we start a live stream, once you ring the notifications bell, every time we start a live stream, you'll be informed and
In the know.
because there's nothing better in life, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, saints and sinners, than being in the know. Along with
princes and princesses.
Princes and princesses. Don't forget, we have a giveaway today. It's another one of our Saint Coronas, as produced as
Saint Corona. Saint Corona.
Are you going to turn that into a song? That's not bad, actually.
It's like my Sharona.
Yeah. So if you want a chance at winning our latest Saint Corona, I give one to my
Saint
next door neighbor.
Corona.
My next door neighbor, I was outside going for my bike ride today, and my next door neighbor is an EMT. So she's kind of front lines. And so I was heading out for my bike ride, and we waved at each other because, she's as cautious as I am. Got back from my bike ride, and she was watering my rocks. Because my that stretch between our two houses is, the rocks, the what do they call it? There's a name for New Mexico.
Xeriscape.
Xeriscape, yeah. And anyway, she said, I'm not watering your plants. I'm actually spraying. I'm not watering your weeds. I'm spraying some Weed Be Gone or something, but she was using the hose to do it. And she said, by the way, I pulled all your weeds for you on that side of your house. I'm going like, wow. So I went inside the garage and I said, come over here before you go back into the house. And I framed one of the Santa Coronas for her.
Nice.
And gave it to her. And her parents live with her, and they're both very old. And the dad, Ernie, is just on the front end of experiencing Alzheimer's. So I know she's got a lot to do, but I gave her that. I said, this is my thanking you for watering my weeds. So I don't have a lot of weeds.
Well, not only that, she did take care of you when you had that
ugly
tape stuff on your body.
That latex tape.
And I couldn't deal with it.
Yeah.
I'm too squeamish.
She did a great job. I mean, it did leave some scars, but she was able to kind of, EMT like take care of it and fix it so it healed well. So bless her heart. Bless her pay-picking heart. So the point that I was going to make is we're going to give another one of these St. Coronas away tonight, as produced by my daughter, Sean. And in order to qualify for that, you have to go to last Wednesday's show. That would be the 8th, April 8th, and make a comment. So if you want a chance at winning this. In addition to that, if you want to communicate with us tonight, one way you can do it is in the chat room. And you do that by preceding your question with an @Gypsy Kiss, and that highlights it on our site. I'd appreciate it if maybe one of the mods would do that so you guys can see it. And then you can always send a text message to the number you see below us here, 202-815-1171. Later on, we'll open up those phone lines, and you can give us a call. So there's all kinds of ways to communicate with us. I do want to make you aware that we are conducting our annual survey, Forest Fenn Treasure Searcher Survey. I'm going to put that link in the chat room. It's also on the description box below. We would appreciate it if you would take that survey. There is no need to provide personal information, just questions about the search and your opinions on the matter. I did add one question at the top to ask whether or not you thought the coronavirus is going to affect your search season. Not the search season, but your search season. So thank you for doing that. We appreciate it. So Kpro says, hey, we are doing a fun, free searcher online poker tournament. Oh, good. All right. So I'm sorry, you were going to say.
How are you going to do that?
I don't know. That's interesting.
I mean, deal yourself cards?
I don't know.
Like,
how do you do that? Oh, you know what you do?
Actually,
you know what you can do?
Everybody has a straight flush.
No, you can actually go to the online poker, like pokerstars.com.
Oh.
And you can set up a room for just your friends, and then you fund it afterwards. You do, because in the pokerstars.com, although you can play for real, you play with their play money, basically. You walk in, they give you $1 million, and you get to play poker. But they could work all those details.
I want $1 million.
You want or want?
I want $1 million.
Don't we all? And we have a plan for that. So
you Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah, I got a plan. I got a plan for everything, baby.
I like that.
I got a plan for everything. We had a really fun call with Ryan She's, let's see, how old is Ryan now? So she's in her mid 30s anyway. But she is the classic. So we've been doing a lot of talking on Sales Leaders Institute about how people have to adjust to this new environment. And we actually had a slide in the presentation, the video, I should share that with you, where we talked about the combination of partnering, parenting, and petnering, meaning you may be in a household where both you and your partner are working from home, where you have children who are now going to school from home, and where you have pets who are accustomed to a particular schedule, and now you're kind of screwing it up for them. And she was
because you're there all the time.
because
And
you're
now
there
they're
all
like,
the time.
"Oh,
Yeah,
I love this.
right. And she's kind of the classic example because both she and her husband Tom are working, but working from home. Her children. Manny and Mila are home from school. Manny, although Manny was preschool, and they have two dogs, and they're having to kind of and they're busy people. I mean, they have a lot going on, and Ryan is pregnant and due in August, so they've got a lot going on. So it was just interesting to hear from her how they were doing it, and your first reaction is, "Oh, we have no problems. We adjust our schedules," and
Well, I don't recall her ever saying she had no
no,
problems.
no, no, no. That's the point I
She
was going
was
to make.
just highlighting the positives.
She was highlighting the positive, and I think Shelley said, "So how did you do so well?" And she goes, "Oh no, first 2 weeks were miserable, and then we had a fight, and things like that." So
Oh, they didn't fight.
she didn't. They didn't fight, but she's very real
They're a
world
very good
about it.
team. Her and her husband are wonderful people. And I can imagine that people look at them and are just jealous, because they have such a wonderful life. It's what everybody wants.
Yeah.
You want, a happy family, a happy spousal relationship, a couple of pets, a house that's big enough for all of you, and a beautiful neighborhood they live in. And it's just, people look at them and think, how perfect, I want that.
Yeah,
of course it has its issues, and we all do, but
well, and
they
she's
have a
brought
pretty
that
good
up.
life.
She's brought that up, and that's why they're moving. She said, living here where she grew up, basically, she's 5 miles away from where she grew up in Chantilly, and she said it's just one big rat race. And it wasn't like that when we were growing up, although I kind of experienced it because I
Well,
had to
sure, you did,
Yeah.
because you were working. Now
But-
she's working and she sees what it is.
Yeah, exactly. And so they just recently bought a house in Charleston. Did she say Charleston?
They didn't
Charleston.
buy one yet, did they?
No, they put the money down for the build.
Oh, I see.
It's bought.
I see.
So that means they have to sell the two houses up there, but it looks like they'll be moving down there. The house will be ready because it's an open plot right now. So it'll be ready sometime next spring. So that's when they're moving down. So that's pretty courageous to me, honestly. So
She lived there nearby there when she went to college, so she knows what it's
yeah,
like.
no. That's kind of why they selected it. She had ties back to her. Let's see, it's I forgot the name of the town.
Coastal Carolina.
It's Coastal Carolina University I used to go down there for the bike. They had a bike week.
Somebody will know.
Anybody? Where is Coastal Carolina University? It's a beach town. And that's where she
Oh, are
went
you
to school.
talking to us now?
Oh, sorry.
Just each other?
Sorry, I should post that link. I'll put that link in the community page. Also, I want to mention that just before the show started, Steve Klein sent me an email regarding the fact that Yellowstone National Park has contributed an enzyme from one of its many, what do you call them? Old Faithful. What's Old Faithful? It's
Geyser.
Geysers and all that geyser fields that they have. There's an enzyme in there that's being used as part of developing the vaccine for the coronavirus. And Steve,
How
I apologize
interesting.
for that. Pardon me. So
I said, how interesting.
yeah, and they did report on it, one of the local channels, and Steve sent me that just before we got started, and I just didn't get a chance to process it before I could get it to you guys. So I will post that as well on the community page so you can see it. But you got to admit it's pretty interesting that they're doing that kind of work.
It is. It's times like these where we're pushed. Just hurry up, discover something.
Yeah.
Okay, and all eyes are on you, scientists. Oh, okay. And that's what's amazing about times like this, that it just accelerates scientific discoveries like that.
And this is not the last one of these we're going to experience. These viruses are out there. We know they're out there. They've been warning us
They have been warning and warning and warning us
for at least a couple of. I've heard it as long as 2 decades, but I'm sure it goes back further.
But we knew about SARS, we knew about MERS, we knew about Ebola, but we weren't worried because that was over there. That wasn't here.
Yeah.
Now it's here.
Yeah.
Now it's important. So yeah.
So is that okay? Brad said you're a little hot on your mic. I just adjusted it. So the important thing about this is that this is not the last time we're going to experience a pandemic, or I'll say an epidemic first, but then a pandemic. I think we're just going to handle it better the next time. And what that means is, if I had children, pre-college age children, I would try to convince them to go into the healthcare field, especially when it came to virology and biogenetics.
I tried to do that with mine, but if they have no interest and they're squeamish.
I know. Yeah, you can't be squeamish, especially if you're working in a level 4 lab where all you have to do is make one tear in your suit and you acquire the whatever virus it is. Okay. One last, actually, I'm going to do two last reminders. Number one, if you want a chance at winning tonight's coronavirus or Saint Corona, not coronavirus. By the way, I am spraying these.
You will not win the coronavirus.
Right, you will
not get it here. You're safe. You're safe. Don't leave.
Make sure you go back to last week's video, the Humpday Hoedown of the 8th, and make a comment. That's where we'll select the winner from. And then again, I'm going to post it one more time. Make sure you go and take the survey, the AGK annual Fenn Treasure Searcher survey. That's okay. Right. So there was a couple of signs. Let's see. How about a toast for National Yellow? You know what? I will drink to Yellowstone National Park, since we probably won't be able to get into it till August or September.
Cheers.
Oh, how can we do that? Ready? Do cheers. 1, 2, 3.
Tink.
Tink. All right. So let's see. I did. LR just brought it up. I did miss Super Chat. Thank you for that, LR. If you would like to contribute to our little project here, there are 2 ways to do that. You'll see it scroll up above. One way is to go to paypal.me/agypsieskiss. And the nice thing about that is YouTube doesn't take any money off the top. Another way to do it is to use the grayed out but stylized stylized but grayed out $ at the bottom of the chat window. Click on that, and YouTube will very graciously walk you through contributing to Super Chat.
Like Stormworm did.
He did? Did I miss that?
He gave us 420.
420.
He said, stay toasty, y'all, off to fish. We'll watch later.
Okay, great. Well, that's for Stormworm.
Yeah.
And cool. We are going to have another way. So I don't know how much you know about YouTube memberships, and I don't know what's going on with YouTube, but you have to qualify, right? It's another one of those things.
They're going through changes just like we are.
Right, exactly. So you have to you've always had to qualify for the YouTube membership feature. It's like Super Chat. It's just another feature that enables you to monetize your channel. And the old rules were you had to be at 30,000 subscribers. So we had kind of like, we'll never make it that. We just got a notice that they've given us, whether it's for whatever reason, they've decided we can have memberships. Now, what we have to do...
Powers that be have bestowed upon you.
Yeah, exactly. What we have to do is we have to decide what the membership gets you. So if you have ideas that would intrigue you about adding to our channel, this is independent, by the way. This is where, and Shelley warned me of this. This is going to get confused with our membership vault, which is an already established organization. This is a YouTube feature, and whatever you deliver kind of has to be on YouTube. So it could be, separate nights. It could be promo items, et cetera, et cetera. So we just
Maybe
got
early access to important words videos.
it could be that early access. It could be, a special night where it's just you
Oh,
guys in the
maybe
chat
you
room.
could Zoom with Toby and I.
Yeah. So,
Wow, we have all kinds of fun things. And
yeah, there's a lot
we
of
could
things
do.
that could happen. So
Yeah.
we've only looked at it from the perspective that they let us know that we qualified, and so I think we're gonna take advantage and set it up. We don't know what happens after that. That's whatever happens after that is up to you. It's your choice. But I thought it was really neat that YouTube opened it up to us. Now you got to remember they're probably going to take the same 30% off the top that they do with Super Chat, but that's okay. I mean, so yeah, K-Pro, what you
Yeah,
missed
it's just
is
another thing.
YouTube enabled us to start YouTube membership things. So we're just figuring it out. Okay, let's see. How about this? All right, over to you. Shelley, over to you.
Females.
Females.
We have this one.
Is that it?
That's all I have. You said that we got one at the last minute. This is called Sandwich and Flashlight Revelations. It's from Corey J.
Who's in the room?
Hey, you two. I've been having an internal struggle. You sound like you need a life coach, Corey.
Always pitching. She's always pitching.
I've been having an internal struggle on whether or not to share this because I'm pretty stingy with my info. However, I think I've come to a conclusion on the bring a sandwich and flashlight conundrum. Fair warning, slight paranoia ensues. So, I believe the reason Forrest mentions to bring a flashlight and sandwich because it's a perfect cover story. Say you're on your boots on the ground trip and a park ranger asks what you're doing. You can be honest and say, I'm looking for Forrest Fenn's treasure. And they'll probably roll their eyes.
Yeah.
However, if you tell them you're a fisherman scoping out the lakes, they won't think twice. Also, say you do find indulgence, just in case there's prying eyes. I know I'm sounding paranoid. Keeping an eye on you. If you find it, take a seat and eat the sandwich. If anyone is near, they'll just see someone having a snack. And hopefully they'll get scared that the Sammy is attracting bears and take off. Or if someone is scoping you with binoculars, they'll just see a person having lunch. Don't throw a party. Well, maybe after at where warm waters halt when you've secured your prize. Just not right then. Anyway, this has been my latest daydream. Thanks for everything you two do. I really enjoy and appreciate it all. With love, Corey J.
Corey J., that was the best thought out solution to the problem of the flashlight and sandwich that I have heard thus far. That was very well
Actually, he
done.
mentioned the sandwich, but he didn't really mention the
flashlight?
flashlight. What you're supposed to do with it.
Yeah. So we did get, Brad said, what about having a barbecue and a party for members only? I guess you could, Brad, but the idea, the membership, is things that you do with YouTube. So you could actually have one of the things that they mentioned, which I don't know I could do. You could have a show for members only, or you could have a show where members are the only ones that could chat, which I think would start a riot. I'm actually surprised they offer that. Or you can do you have to do it on YouTube, so you can offer additional content, et cetera, et cetera. You could get a lot of different things, and what I need to do, as Shelley advised me, and I think she's right, we need not to confuse it with our member vault. The member vault is for a completely different purpose. It's for the study of Fenn's The Thrill of the Chase. This is something. This is something different. So Corey says, I have a follow-up question. Is it illegal to use the flashlight to look for fish? In most Western states, It is not. I was surprised that when I went out east, you can use it. For example, if you go crabbing on the Chesapeake Bay, you can use a light to attract the crabs, and they come to the light. But in most states, you can't use a light to fish in either streams or lakes, flashlight or otherwise. I know that's true in New Mexico. I couldn't guarantee it for Colorado, Wyoming, and Montana, but I'm assuming that since most of the western states treat their trout population the same way, it's probably the same for them. Maybe anyone. So as long as you don't have a rod and intend to fish, then could you use the light to look for fishes? I guess you could look for them as long as you weren't looking for them for the express purpose of dragging them out of the water and catching a trout by hand. I've heard people say they can do it. They're slippery. They're fast. They're slippery, and the water changes the angle at which you actually see them. So there is no trout catching. There is fishing for trout. Okay, is that the only email we have?
Yep.
Well, and you know what? We only have one. Shouldn't use that one anyway since the number is wrong. And since it's never been changed, I need to get on our technical staff and get them to change that. Go for it.
All right. Well, we're going to say hello to our friends in the chat room.
Our little friends. Say hello to our little friends.
All of our sunshine on a cloudy day. We start with Josie Herman. Hello. Christine Kenzie. Jen. K-Pro, one of our mods. Brave Blaze. MJ Inser, Covert 1. Larry Smith. Hooley, another one of our mods. We have Sassafras CMT. William. Calabrado, another mod. Glenn Marsh, Shots K9 Treasure Hunter, who showed up at the last minute on my live stream this morning. Thank you for stopping by. Next time, be there at 11. And we have Captain Marvel, Sturmworm, Tony Henman. Hello, Tony. He's wearing another one of your beautiful gift necklaces.
Oh, pretty.
I know it's hard to see when it's down here because it's red. Same color as the shirt. Let's see. We have... who else? Alex Wellman. Didn't forest only rule out private land? He didn't rule out anything. Brave Blaze. Gadelcon.
So yeah, Fenn himself never ruled out anything, but he's wise enough to have probably ruled out at a minimum tribal property. And it's logical to me that he would have ruled out private property.
Yeah. About the only thing he said about land is you could put his Dr. Pepper on BLM land, and that was his piece of the land, or that he could rent a cabin, and that land was his during the time he rented it.
Yeah.
Those are the things he said that I remember. Let's see. We have Ronnie Lee, LR, world famous gamer, JK Pioneer. Planting time at the end of the month. We thought it was planting time, didn't we, Toby?
Oh, we made that mistake.
And then what happened?
And then Monday happened. Monday happened. We ended up with the nighttime temperatures going down into the teens, and then we had snow in Albuquerque in
all day
April. So I had planted some. I always want to call them Goldilocks. What are they called?
Marigolds.
Marigolds. I put some marigolds. I'm not a big plant person, but there's this one thing that I have to stuff a plant in every year. Otherwise, it looks like it should go to Goodwill. So I put a plant in it, and the weather killed it. So, which is why I don't do plants. They just die on me anyway.
The ice plants, I think, is a better choice, but that's just what I think.
If I could find the one that I had, that one, you got to admit, the one that I put in there last year did pretty well.
Yeah.
Whatever that was.
Ice plant.
Is that what that was?
Yeah.
With the little yellow and red flowers?
Yeah.
Oh.
Let's see. We have Shadowcaster, T. Lee.
Whoa.
Brave Blaze.
Meeps is in the house.
Oh, yeah. Brave Blaze is John Wayne Broadbent. We got to remember that.
Okay. I'm writing that down.
Doesn't use his name anymore, except that he tells you who he is anyway. So.
Right.
Sunray. Davio's here. Davio was in my room today, too.
Wow.
Chris B. Get it on. Chirp.
Chirp? Seriously?
Davio said chirp. I don't know why. Not important. Let's see. Blazing Paddles. Hello, treasure coaches. Hey. How
Hey,
you doing?
there's a business opportunity in there somewhere, don't you think?
Roy Burton. Well, you know, we talked about that.
We did.
And then we said, but we don't know where the treasure is. So how
Right.
can we
So
really
how
coach
can we
you on
coach
how to
you on it?
find it when we
Yeah.
don't know how to find it?
Yep.
We could coach you on the
Heavy Load
basics.
says, if Forrest told you the scrapbooks would help you find the chest, would you discuss them on your show? Heavy Loads, let's say that Forrest
I
said,
already discussed them.
Yeah.
That's on our channel. I talk important words and I use quotes from the
the
scrapbook.
scrapbooks. Yeah. So, but that's very different. So Shelley's doing that on her Monday video uploads. Our show would probably not do that because we don't. This isn't the format of our show. The format of our show is to listen to what you guys have to say. So if you wanted, so here's a good example. Let's say you found something intriguing in one of the scrapbooks. Now, just because I don't read the scrapbooks doesn't mean necessarily that they don't have any value. They have value to some people. They just don't to me. I read them for entertainment. I do read them. I read them for entertainment. But let's say you found something intriguing in the scrapbooks. Call in, share it with us, and you could talk all you want about the scrapbooks. And I wouldn't say.
And that goes for any Fenn topic. Don't just sit there and complain that we don't talk about it. Call in and talk about it.
Yeah. Because we're not going to disagree. We can't disagree with you. We can't say, the most I can say is if you say, what do you think about that? I can say, well, I think that's as reasonable as anything else I've heard. But I'm not going to tell you it's wrong because
because we don't know.
We don't have the treasure. Christine Kenzie says, Gypsy Kiss, what if you had all the clues? You go there and then it's not there. Start all over. Yeah, that's happened at least 5 times to me, Christine. So I'm kind of accustomed to that strategy. Mm-hmm. I'm the lead not finder, I guess. Colorado, whoops, popped up there. One should plant. Oh, I'm getting plant advice. This is good because I plants and I have never been able to get along. That's why I married women who had plant skills. One should plant dianthus. They come in many colors and live through the winter and come back every year.
Jody.
I am going to look those up right now. Dianthus. Dianthus. Oh, yeah, those
Cynthia
are pretty
put out a video visiting Forrest. I missed that one.
I think she put it out yesterday. So I haven't had a chance to take a look at it. I will, Brad. I will go ask. I will call our Home Depot tomorrow. Find out if they have any of those. Because it definitely killed the whole Goldilocks. What are marigolds? Let's see what else people have to say.
Larry Smith.
Heavy Load says, have you read the statement at the top of all the archived scrapbooks on Dale's site? I have not. I know that's
K-Pro, we don't pay for the membership. The members would pay if they chose to join.
So, K-Pro, go to your YouTube features where you get approved for monetization and long videos and things like that. And the last one down there in the far lower right hand corner is membership. And if you ever clicked on it, it would say you have to have 30,000 subscribers before you can use this feature. So I just ignored it. I've never had any channel with 30,000 subscribers. I just ignored it. Well, we just got an email yesterday or day before saying your channel qualifies for memberships. And I thought that was pretty interesting since I knew the restrictions. And Shelley had the best idea. Well, they must be experiencing some downturn in revenues, and membership is a way for us to monetize our channel, of which they will take X percentage.
Haircut.
So yeah,
They're like the government. They like to take their cut.
Scalp. So yeah, that's the only reason the memberships are out here. Let me see if I can find it.
K-Pro, I didn't know flashlights were illegal for fishing either. That was news to me. But then I'm not a fisher person. King Catcher Jim King. Paul Wood. West Guide TAS. It's called wildlife harassment.
Harassment, yeah, when you flash the lights.
With flash the fish.
Yeah, flashing the fish.
But as soon as you walk away, they're going to forget it ever happened. Fish do not have long-term memory. It's just fish.
Was that a light? I don't know. Was that a light?
Maverick 1. They don't even know they're swimming in water. Did you hear that story?
No.
2 young fish are swimming along, and another older fish swimming along underneath them, and says, "Hey guys, how's the weather? How's the water?" And they look at each other and look at him. What water? What's water?
Okay. So K-Pro, I'm doing this for you. I'm going to do a screenshot so she can see this.
Christy Meeps.
Okay, K-Pro, this is on your channel monetization page. There's the super chat one, and this is the new one that was added, memberships. And that link that you're seeing there was added to this channel yesterday. Hadn't been that. Fans become members of your channel, paying a monthly fee in return for special perks that you offer. So this is where we're at right now. We can't turn it on because we have to do that. We have to add levels and perks. We have to upload badges and emojis, and we add videos.
Badges? We don't need those sticky
badges. And then post a welcome to new members, and then you can turn it on, and ta-da! You can turn it on.
Yeah.
You can turn
James Bailey can turn it on.
Turn it on.
J.M. Calhoun. Dr. Fenn wanted to discuss Kerwin before Barry calls. I was thinking we went to Kerwin. We didn't go to Kerwin. We went to Kirby.
Oh, you're right. We went to Kirby.
Kerwin.
That was where the...
I was wearing the shirt yesterday. I was like, oh, it's Kirby.
Not Kerwin. So where else? No. Okay, so we went to Thermopolis, and we went to the one thing in Kirby that made any sense. And that was the
thing that was open.
The one thing that was open, the Wyoming Whiskey Distillery. And
That's right.
Boy, was that good whiskey.
Yep.
Let's see. Heavy Load says, the statement says some of these scrapbooks will undoubtedly help you in the search. That's Dale's opinion, and he's perfect. He's perfectly entitled to that. Studying forest
And yet
books.
Dale doesn't have the treasure either.
Yeah. So...
but he does have
so Heavy Loads, here's what I
blog.
agree with you with, that reading the scrapbooks provides you additional insight into the makeup and personality of Forrest Fenn. I don't think there are any more clues, in my opinion, there are no more clues in the scrapbooks than there are in Too Far to Walk or Once Upon a While. Forrest consistently says the clues are in the...
Just wanted to throw that in there.
So.
It's that Dale says, yeah, there's hints in there.
Yeah.
Well, check them out as often as possible, because when you come here, I make money. So, yeah.
That's it, sure.
Absolutely.
Keep checking, keep reading those scrapbooks. Good marketing.
Which is fine. I don't have a problem, but I'm just saying. It's in his best interest to tell you there's hints in there. Glenn Marsh, Venice 4.
Oh man, those dianthus things come in the little tiny pot. That's work. I just want one that I can. It comes in a big pot, and I take it out of the pot, and I put it in that thing back there, and it does whatever it's supposed to. Because that's my relationship with plants. If I didn't have that one thing back there, I would probably not have to worry about the plants. I would just let them go, let it go of its own accord.
Larry Smith says, put in a really good silk or plastic one and no one will know.
A what?
Fake plants.
Oh, fake plants, yeah.
Good fake plants.
It's just this one. It's an Italian style fountain, and it came with a house, and it was over at a wall where there was no water or electricity to run the fountain. But I thought it had this kind of I don't know. What's the word I'm looking for? Archaic, not archaic, but
junkyard?
No, not junkyard. It looked like it needed some tender, loving care. Right?
It looked like it needed a trip to the junkyard.
Yeah, and so I had my gardening guy move it from the wall to where you could see it from the back door, the sliding door onto the patio. And then I realized, well, it can't sit there. You've got to put something in it. So I found this really good plant last year. I don't know what it is because I don't know what plants are. I just asked the lady, will this grow? And she said, sure, which is what they do at Home Depot. And so I put it in there.
Buy it. You'll like it.
You'll like it. So I put it in there, and it grew. And in about 2 weeks, it started producing little yellow and red flowers, so it looked even better. And then and it just kept growing and producing more flowers. And then at the end, in the first frost, it died deader than a doorknob. I mean, it was just dead. So so I have to replace it.
It's not the ground.
Pardon me?
It's not the ground.
No.
It's in a planter, so you can't expect it to last through the winter.
Oh, look, Brad says, we have tons, and I will bring you an established plant that all you have to do is keep it watered. So that sounds reasonable to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my kind of plant.
How long is it going to be before they can get out of the house?
Captain Marvel, that I do have a gardener I don't have a gardener. I have a garden guy. I have a guy who, when I need weeds pulled, I call.
So
I'm not sure. I'm not sure why she decided to do that. I didn't ask her to do that. Didn't expect it. I was just going out for my bike ride, and when I came back, all the weeds on that side of the house. And again, this is it's because it's gravel, right? It's it's xeriscape, so there's no grass there. It's just, and every once in a while they pop through the gravel, so you have to pull them. Otherwise, the homeowners association gets upset. But usually that's what he does.
And they should palm themselves, because I thought that's what they told you when you moved into that house.
I thought so too. Yard. I thought they took care of the front yard, but apparently they don't. Anyway, the gardener is not a weekly gardener. He's Michael, and I call him when I need plant pulling and raking and stuff like that. I mow my own lawn. That's about all I do.
Yorg, morning.
Yorg,
morning. Let's see. Heavy Load says, if Forrest told you the scrapbooks... Oh, you already read that. Never mind. Off-Trail Jaeger. Tile.
So we got snow in Albuquerque. Did they get snow up north?
I'm sure they must have.
I mean, did it close everything up again?
I don't know. Ask Brad.
Hey, Brad, did you guys get enough snow so they closed off everything?
And who else is in Denver? Somebody's in Denver.
Davio.
Is he in Denver still?
Oh.
Carrie
And he
Galloway.
will be, apparently, until he goes and finds the treasure in Wyoming.
John Patriot.
It's not a clue. So Alone in There is asking, what does the eggplant emoji mean? People keep sending it to me. Is it a clue? Yes, it's a clue that you're behaving like an eggplant. No, I'm just...
Who is that from?
It's from Alone in There.
Oh, he's joking.
Shadowcaster says, it's snowing here now. Where are you, Shadow? Are you in...
John Miller. Sea Dog. Ahoy, mates. This dog is in the hunt. Thanks for the shows, Gypsy Kiss.
This dog is in the hunt.
A dog don't hunt.
This dog don't hunt.
I love those Texas sayings, you threw me under the bus. That dog won't hunt. Or there's a bunch of really funny.
You threw me under the bus is a Texas saying?
Oh, yeah. It was my husband used to work with a bunch of Texans, and they used to say it long before it became like
popular
national vernacular.
Yeah. It was a pretty commonly used phrase.
Cynthia's video is kind of funny, giving TP to Forrest.
Oh.
It's
Did
funny.
he need it?
Sherry from PA is here.
Yeah, I agree, Corey J. It's generally adult themed, isn't it?
Doug Carver. If you use
So
in the Rockies,
tried,
kind
but
of
didn't
funny,
make it
New
past.
Mexico is less than 10% of the search area in the treasure hunt.
Yeah, because it's
What
only
does that mean?
it's-
What are you making that mean, Doug?
Doug.
What do you make that mean?
Doug. What does that mean, Doug?
What are you making it mean? See, it's
Well,
a neutral fact.
You gotta
But then
remember.
you are applying your bias to that fact.
Yeah.
And making it mean something.
Brad says, not much snow. We are getting snow tomorrow through Saturday. It was 3 degrees yesterday morning on Wolf Creek. Ugh, that is one ugly pass. Well, no, it's actually a pretty good pass, unless it's snowing. All local forest roads are closed until mid-May. Davio agrees by saying, word. Word. Mel Rustad.
He's a man of few words when he's typing, but when he's on the phone, man.
Boy, boy, howdy. Mel Rustad with a contribution of $2 and a sticker, a cool sticker.
Who?
Did you see that? Mel Rustad, our friend.
No, I'll get to it, but
Okay.
Ian Learfelin. Just butchered his name. Sorry, Ian. I'm just going to call you Ian because I can't talk. Do you know who it is?
You know, how many shows did it take for us to figure out you know who it is?
I don't know.
You know what's
I lost
really
track.
funny?
Joel Lewicki
Is in the house? Wow.
is in the house.
You know what's
Hold
funny
on.
is to see him in other chat rooms and people going, "Hey, do you know who it's?" They're going through the same thing that we did. It was really kind of neat.
You're like,
Oh,
been
well, the
there,
point
done
I was
that.
going to make about New Mexico being 10%, I guess the point that I could make is prior to 2013, at which time Forrest Fenn discovered the Rocky Mountains, New Mexico was 100%. So from
Heavy loads.
here, let's look at it
Gypsy
this way.
Kiss.
From 2010 to 2013, New Mexico, northern New Mexico, not even all the entirety of New Mexico, just northern New Mexico, that area in the mountains north of Santa Fe, that was 100%. And then he wanted to go marketing and made the rest of the world the search area.
Because people were getting too close.
I agree. They were within 200 feet, and he thought, well, we got to change this game, otherwise they're
Yeah,
going
we're
to
going to
find.
stretch this out a bit.
Heck yes.
Heavy loads. To me, studying the scrapbooks is just like studying Forrest's books, except I've spoken to Forrest, I've read his quotes, and more times than I can count, he has told us, if you are serious about finding this treasure, here's my advice. Read the book, meaning The Thrill of the Chase, and the poem. Read the poem over and over and over again. Maybe even memorize it. Read the book slowly, looking for hints. Never does he say, here's my advice, read the scrapbooks, because all the hints are there. He's never said that. I'm just going by what he says.
You know, I guess, where did I see this? There is some sense of logic that because some of the stories from The Thrill of the Chase, this is at circular logic, because some of the stories from The Thrill of the Chase are scrapbooks, and Fenn has said there are hints in the thrill of the stories in The Thrill of the Chase. Therefore, there must be hints in the scrapbooks. Yes, that's perfectly circular logic, but yeah, I guess you could say that.
Sure.
Me, I read them for
Holly
entertainment.
Cairn. Sea dog. Maybe the clues are in the scrapbooks that aren't there. Okay. It's what they whisper. What's Paul Woods here? Ronnie Lee. Have we gotten to? There's just so much people talking.
Yeah, there is. I'm watching it go by. Shall we go to that?
Busy night.
Shall I set the 30-second rule in here?
No.
No, come on. That way they can't type.
Roger Garcia.
Oh, it's 60 seconds. Wow.
Wayne Ross. Hey there. Wayne Ross, King of the Roses. Remember that?
Holly says, move the plant to the garage in winter. Holly, you're giving me far more credit for my patience
It's
with
so much
plants.
easier for Toby to just buy a new one. Trust me.
Yeah.
He just wants to take it and throw it in the planter and then spray some water on it every now and then. That's it. It's all the work he wants to do.
Plants and I are not,
That's why ice plant is perfect, because it's hard to kill, except
I did.
There's Mel. Oh, cool.
Heavy loads. Here's some good logic. You don't really need the scrapbooks until you solve the poem. Okay.
What does that mean?
That means you don't need the scrapbook. I guess that means...
Toby said all of New Mexico was underwater. Oh, we got rain, so I guess it was. Huh.
That's about as close as we get to being underwater. So Davio plants 500 at a time. What kind of plants exactly, Davio, are you talking about? Shadowcaster says, any thoughts
He's
about
talking
why...
about those plants with the 3 green leaves and...
Five
Yes,
green so that's how much you know.
Yeah, I don't know much.
I guess. Any thoughts about why Forrest Fenn published much of the stories from The Thrill of the Chase in the Bozeman Daily Chronicles years before he published the book?
Lee!
Well, that's a funny way to put that. First of all, it wasn't that many. There was a couple in the Bozeman Chronicles that ended up in the book. But I would look at it at just the opposite. If you had stories that you needed to write in order to publish a book that supported the existence of a treasure poem, then you pulled those stories from wherever you could. My opinion on the matter is The Thrill of the Chase is not Forrest Fenn's memoir.
He's a salesman and he's a marketer. He's a businessman. What do? You leverage what you've already written.
Right.
Save self time.
So he needed to publish something quickly, which is why it lacks the things like chapters and things and index and content. So he needed to do something quickly. But the reason The Thrill of the Chase was published at all was so that he had some place to put the poem. It's not his memoir. Too Far to Walk is more like his memoir.
It's kind of hard to publish just one poem.
Yeah.
Here, buy this poem. It's $26.
Yeah,
I'm paying that for a poem.
Even Byron Weiss, the guy that did The Secret. I mean, his book is. You read the first half of his book about the white people's motion. What is it? That weird story. He's got this weird. He wastes the first half of the book.
Berry people came over from Europe to the United States or North America.
Yeah,
it wasn't the United States yet.
Got it.
Yeah.
So
weird stuff.
Because
again, he's never not said it either.
Yeah, that's
a double negative.
That's that again, circular logic, right? The lack of evidence. This is what I think Joel can probably. The lack of evidence is not evidence.
Kiwis Road. Craig O'Hare. Hello. Anybody watching anything good on Netflix? I'll tell you what I'm watching that's so good. So funny. I love it. It's called Kim's Convenience. It's excellent. It's this older Korean couple. They're from Korea. They moved to Canada. They live in Canada. And they run a convenience store, and they are so good together. They're so funny. And then they have adult children who come in, and we follow all of their stories. And it is so good. If you just need a laugh and some good family humor, Kim's Convenience on Netflix.
So is it a sitcom or a
It's a sitcom, but it's done in the new style, so it's not in the
right,
studio. It's in their
right,
convenience
yeah,
store, and they follow them around and stuff.
got
It's
it.
really
All right.
yeah.
Shadowcaster says, so then A Gypsy's Kiss, do you think these stories being published adds important to those stories or takes from them? Neither. I look at the stories in the thrill of the chase. So the stories in the thrill of the chase should provide you additional insight to Fenn's personality. There are a couple of hints and a couple of aberrations. We don't know where they are, so you don't know which stories are important or not. As I look at the stories, I think there's 2 chapters in the book that I find intriguing in terms of potential, and that's important literature and Flywater. And I don't recall either of those being published anyplace else than in the book. Kiwi's wrote, why would he have to hurry to hide a chest in writing The Chase? Because he gave himself a schedule, and the schedule was coming up. The FBI showed up at his house in 2009, and now he's got a treasure, and he's got a plan, and he's got to implement that plan. I think so. He made commitments to a lot of people to get this treasure out the door effectively. So I just think it's
Including himself.
yeah.
He likes to keep his word to himself.
Yep.
Nate Mattis is here. With a question for
Shadowcaster
Joel.
says, why not in the newspapers? Why publish in the newspapers in Bozeman, Montana, instead of the newspapers in Santa Fe? I don't know. That's a question for Fenn. I don't know the answer. Why do so many people?
They would.
Why do so many people?
Mostly because they would. You publish whoever is going to publish you. That's what you do. He could have submitted his stories to Santa Fe, the Santa Fean, or what is it called? The newspaper in
Santa Fe, New Mexico.
They just would say, that's not our style. We don't print that kind of thing. But the Bozeman Chronicle would say, oh, we love this. Let's print that up.
So when I was back when I came back from overseas and I was in Washington, I started writing an article called The Information, or a column called The Information Revolution. It was eventually picked up by the Gannett newspaper chain. And I didn't know it, but the Santa Fe New Mexican was at the time, I don't know if it still is, one of the Gannett newspaper chain. And so it appeared in there under my byline. And one day I got a call from my mother and she says, somebody is stealing your name. And I'm going, what? She said, there's an article in the newspaper and it says that a man with your name wrote it. And the only other Toby Younis I know is my late husband, your father. And I said, what's the name of the article? And she said, The Information Revolution. I said, Mom, I wrote that article. It's a column. So, but she thought.
What'd she say to that?
She said, well, of course, she said, oh, well, that was nice. It's not as good as my tin work.
You're so. Oh. You can tell Toby had a really special relationship with his mom.
Why do so many people misquote Forrest? My response to that is taken from somebody who is in the room at present, and the answer is because they can, right? Because they can. Not everybody knows that they're misquoting Forrest, and if they think they can get away with it, they will. The Bozeman Comical, as we refer to it here. Oh, that's good. Did you read that? Shadowcaster says the Bozeman Chronicle is referred to as the Bozeman Comical in Bozeman, apparently.
Glenn Marsh says,
Walk in the Clouds with Keanu Reeves. God, I remember that movie.
Shelley, I think I'm going to write a book. And the first page, I'm going to say, there comes a time in a man's life when you have to put all the cards on the table and call. Apparently, Glenn Marsh is calling us tonight.
Oh, okay. All right. Good. Let everybody know. Captain Marvel says she loves A Walk in the Clouds with Keanu Reeves. Did you ever see that? I don't know. I want to say late 40s, early 50s movie. Keanu is a traveling salesman, and he gets involved with a California family, Hispanic California family, that's running a vineyard. I remember that, Captain Marvel. I remember that movie, and I remember kind of liking it. I think I saw it on an airplane sometime.
And I said, what about walking in the clouds?
That's not the name. That's not how that song goes.
What's it called? The movie you were just talking about?
Walk in the clouds.
A walk in the clouds. Jeez.
A walk in the clouds.
I think.
Look at it. Do Netflix with
Nate
Walk in the
Mattis,
Clouds.
who has Joel's cell number that could text him for me? I ran across a Wi-Fi network called Forest Fenn next to a place called Olson's and thought it might be Joel.
Oh, interesting. Olson's. That sounds very Minnesotan to me, doesn't it? Though, one of those old Swedish families.
Some people have the funniest names for their Wi-Fi. Okie Chest Chaser. Better late than never. Justin Posey, howdy.
How many people are in this room? You've read 400 names
220.
So far. Let's see.
Any other questions? Mr. T? Alan K? All right, I'm at the bottom.
Okay.
You may move on now, sir.
Thank you.
Yes.
Here we go. By the way, I want you to ignore that phone number that's on our text time video. We're having our technical staff take a look at that. Customer services is going to look at that and repair it for us by the next show, I'm sure.
As soon as we have a membership that's paying us money, then maybe we'll take care of it. Till then, the phone number stays the same. So the phone number for sending a text message is actually right below us, 202-815-1171. And boy, do we have some text messages. So, Jim is watching us on a big screen. Wow. And he's just cheering us. Now
he's
it's
watching
time
the big screen.
for
Membership
those
gets
of you who enjoy watching people eat to see me eat popcorn.
Could you do it with
on
a little
the big screen?
Can you do it with a little ASMR? Like hold your microphone close so you're crunching the popcorn. ASMR. Jim says membership gets you not to have to listen to Waco Joe. That would be a good perk, huh?
What's wrong with Waco Joe? I thought it was Rio Grande. Or wait,
oh no, he's right. He's right.
There?
Yeah, no, he means Rio Grande Joe. Waco's actually okay. He calls and Ed isn't called that often, but yeah, I'd say if it was a choice between Waco and Rio Grande, Waco is, no, they're both viewers. I'm not going to criticize either one of them. Ken in Oklahoma says, to your knowledge, has Forrest ever said that one of the clues is humorous? I haven't seen that.
Humorous? Like a bone?
Well,
bone?
I think that's how he spelled it. He spelled it Humerus. Could he have meant humorous as in funny, but misspelled it? So
his bone told him that's how it was spelled.
Ken, there is a bone in the human body that's referred to by that name. Were you thinking humorous as in funny? So, Clean LR, what's the YouTube policy on playing the Thrill of the Chase poem songs? We don't, as long as it isn't copyrighted music. So what YouTube has to do is they have bots that when they hear, these bots sit around, and when they hear music, they listen to the first news. They sit around listening to the music.
Like angels.
They're like little bot angels in the cloud waiting for you to play music. And within 5 bars, they know whether it's copyrighted or not. So
I can name that tune in 5 notes.
Then they have other bots that look at the written words. So if I were to start to read The Thrill of the Chase without Forrest's permission, they might pick up on that. But the combination of the fact that you're pulling the poem and you're creating your own music around it confuses the bots, so they haven't said anything to us. By the way, the worst that they could do is demonetize that particular video. They're not going to give us a copyright strike or anything like that, so I don't even worry about it. Remember this diagram. Let's see what the chat room thinks. Hi, thanks for the show.
Rockfish says, it is humorous, like funny. I have firsthand knowledge of the humor.
Oh, in the poem? There's funny in the poem? I could see that. Mischievous. The 13-year-old mischievous Forrest Fenn writing a poem that had some humor in it.
Well, he thinks it's funny. Doesn't mean we get.
Yeah, exactly. So there is no way. What do you think 1893 means? I have no idea.
I think it's a year.
I think it's a year. Let's see. So rules and oh my God, I can't read this. Let's see. Angling, artificial lures, artificial light. This is the glossary of terms in the New Mexico fishing regulations. Artificial light may be used. Hang on.
To read this the fishing regulations.
Well, it sounds like artificial light may be used to take all species of game fish. However, it is illegal to shine light where game or livestock may be while in possession of a sporting arm, which includes bows, violates face loss of license. Wait a minute. Artificial light may be used to take all species of game fish. Okay, well, there we are. Take your lights and go fishing in New Mexico, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, wait, there was more. Cosmo, Arizona. Cosme from Arizona. Someone said they were headed to the White Mountains to fish. However, the White Mountain Apache Reservation is totally shut down. The gates for the National Forest might be open soon, but they were not as of yesterday. 2 pictures follow if that is okay. Right. And so, like your show, it helps us pass the time. I suppose that's as good a reason as any, huh? Tony Henman says, you can use a flashlight fishing at night in Idaho. You just can't put it in the water.
Okay.
Ken in Oklahoma says, to your knowledge, has Forrest ever said that anyone that includes... Oh, he says, yeah. He says humorous as in funny. So I've never heard him say anything. I mean, I've never heard him refer to any lines of the poem with a particular, whether it's humorous or serious or, you know what? I think if he went through 15 years of writing the poem, that strikes me as a serious poem rather than a funny poem. I think Forrest Fenn is a mischievous personality, but I don't think he would. I don't think he would be funny about this. I think he would take it very seriously. Did you drop your popcorn? Okay, you know what time it is. Have you been watching the chat room to see if there's
Are we giving away a prize tonight?
You want to do that now? Bueno. Let's give away the prize. Okay, so the giveaway tonight is another Saint Corona as rendered by my beautiful daughter, Sean, a talented artist. And I think we're down to the last 3 because, like I said, I gave one to my next door neighbor today after she pulled the weeds in my next to my driveway. So we're going to give that away. You have 30 seconds to go to last week's video and make a comment, if you want a chance at winning this. So let's go to actually, you don't want to see that screen. You want to see this screen. All right, you ready? Here goes a screenshot. Okay, and that's our videos. We go to live videos, and we go to last week's Fenn Humpday Hoedown on the 8th. That's that one right there. And we're going to get the link right here. We're going to copy that link. Okay, you're down to the last 10 seconds here, and we're going to go to, where am I going?
April says she got hers, but she hasn't opened it yet. She's opening it on the show.
Oh, how nice. Wasn't that nice? Where am I going? I forgot. Oh, Comment Picker.
CommentPicker.com.
CommentPicker.com. And we're going to go to the YouTube tools, and we're going to the random comment picker, and we're going to put that link in there. And we're going to get the YouTube comments. We're going to filter the duplicates. So it doesn't make any difference if you made more than one. It only picks one. Unique comments, 46. All right, here we go. Let's see who wins. I actually bought that designer thing that it's promoting to me. Clueless Geezer. Clueless Geezer,
Ooh.
You are the winner of this week's Saint Corona, patron saint of treasure hunters. And I'll send you a little, Sean prints out a sheet to explain exactly what she's all about. So Clueless Geezer, please send your shipping address via text to 202-815-1171. Clueless Geezer, you are the winner.
Woohoo!
Okay? And the sooner you send it to me, the sooner I can get it shipped out. Congratulations. Congratulations. Okay, I am going to... You ready
Chief
for
Girl
this?
Jody, was nice to meet Sean on, by the way, Toby on SLI. Make sure you watch today's show. You could meet Toby's other daughter, Ryan.
So how many daughters have we? So we've done Sean, Toby
Renee,
and Ryan on and that's because they're all
Erica's busy with her new baby.
Yeah, she is. The new cute baby. Oh my God, she is so cute.
Yep. Little kitties. My my niece and her husband keep posting pictures of or little videos and stuff on Facebook of their kids. Just so cute.
I'm glad they're theirs.
They were spinning around in circles, watching some musical thing on TV, and they were spinning around in circles, dancing, and then Braden just like, boop.
That was dizzying. All right, here we go. It's that time of the night, brothers and sisters. It is time for... He was on, so we're not doing the group events anymore, for one thing, T. Brown. But I noticed he was on Christy and Mike's chat room the other night. It's up to him. He's a busy guy. He's got things to do, and I don't think that...
And he was in the movie when we played 1917.
Yeah, I don't, the treasure hunt for him is not the top of his list. For the treasure hunt for me falls in my top.
But if you follow him on Facebook, he does play guitar live on there every now and then.
Yeah. Sarah Rocks is in the room. She must have just gotten home from work, I think.
Sarah.
Okay, like Shelley said, the phone lines are now open. You can call us at 202-815-1171, or if you'd like, you can continue to send text messages, because eventually we'll get back to the text massages.
Massages? I could use a massage right now.
I'm sure you could.
Right here on the shoulders.
I'm sure right there. You know what? I'm going to send my good friend Joe Biden over. He'll help you out with them.
I'll take it.
Well, like didn't George W. Bush, wasn't he a big rub your shoulders kind of guy too?
I don't know. I'll take it. I don't care.
I think he got caught with Angela Merkel of Germany, the German prime minister, at one time. She was...
When they're president, everybody's like, but when they're not president anymore, they're like going to an event like a funeral or something, and they're just all friends. And I think that's nice.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, man, we might get out of here early tonight.
Phone lines are open for sure.
Phone lines are definitely... Well, let me just make sure. Just making sure.
Okay, because I heard from some people that they were playing cards and they were going to call.
Yeah.
Make some calls. Crazy Uncle Joe, call. I am the best. Thank you, Corey.
Fontana, California. There we go. Can you hear that?
I can.
Oh, okay. Hey, you've reached Toby and Shelley at Gypsy's Kiss. What's your name? Where are you calling from? And what's your issue with the Forest Fenn treasure hunt?
Okay. Hi, my name's Marilyn Cook, and I'm from California, and I've called in before.
I recalled your location.
Yes. Um, I have quite a bit to say. Can I have my 10 minutes?
Absolutely, the least maybe. And if it's interesting, you can have more.
Okay. I do not speak well. I write well, but I do not speak well. And this is a very emotional things that I have to say. So if I could just say what I need to say, and then you can ask me the kind of questions you'd like.
All right,
First of all,
go ahead and be as comfortable as you can be, and just let it out.
okay, it's very hard for me to speak on the phone like this, but here's what's going on. I know you have said that you do not want to include politics or religion into your show.
That's right.
And okay. Um, well, this is not religion, it's relationship. And I do want to speak about Forrest Fenn.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, so let me qualify that.
Okay.
If in the context of the Forest Fenn treasure, you find something that is of a political nature and you can relate it back to the treasure, or you find something of a religious, for example, I used the three wise men from the Bible.
Right. There you go.
Yeah. So if it's in that context, I'm okay with it. I'm not going to toss you out on that. Just, what I'm trying to
Okay,
limit
great.
is that we're not getting into the didactics of politics or religion.
Okay, that's great.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. In the poem, well, first let me tell you about Forrest Fenn.
All right.
And before everybody gets upset when I say and start calling me a rooster, please hear me out first, okay?
Well, I reserve the right to call you a rooster, but
Oh,
I'll be
that's true.
right.
That's
But
true.
I'll hear you out.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay. Before anything like that would happen, I want to let you know that there is another treasure all set up, another treasure hunt that if it is found, that it'll be quite incredible, and put it that way. But going back to Forrest Fenn to start with, nobody has understood who this man is. He said he was inspired when he wrote it. There was a higher hand that he said he just wrote it kind of right out.
So I'm gonna qualify
Okay.
what you're saying. So when you
Okay.
say he said, you mean Forrest Fenn,
It's in the book. Yes.
right? And when you use the word it, you mean the poem or the book?
Well, what do you mean? What did I say? I'm sorry.
You said he wrote it. You said he said
Oh,
he
yeah.
wrote it.
He said when he wrote the poem that he was guided by a higher
Higher hand.
hand or
Okay. All right.
something to that effect. Okay. And that was one reason he wrote it just so quickly. But this man put 15 years into this poem. It is it's more incredible than anybody has realized. It is, people have laughed at him and kind of made fun of him. This poem is so epic that I'm sure that he wants it found in his lifetime, because I'm sure he wants credit for it. It's, well, I'm trying to, well, I mean, I'm not even going to go that point yet. But what it is, he is an inspired genius, and nobody sees that yet. He is an inspired genius.
So I'm gonna make a suggestion.
Uh-huh.
All right, and that is, it's probably better for you not to use absolutes like nobody. Right.
About what?
So you said he's an inspired genius. Nobody realizes that. So
Right.
I could make an argument that a lot of people realize that, and that's respect. So let's
That's my theory.
right. Your theory
Yes.
is that he's an inspired genius. Period. What other
Yes.
people think goes beyond theoretical, right? So let's see. So I'm going to check you on that every once in a while,
Go right ahead.
so
Please
that you
do.
can focus on your thoughts and not what other people think. Go ahead.
Please do. Please do. Thank you
Okay.
very much. Okay, I would describe the puzzle as being like a jigsaw puzzle, with each square being approximately 1 inch, just off the top of my head. But that puzzle is, I would say, 20 feet by 20 feet. It took him 15 years to do this. This is not some little 9 clue thing. And he's even said there's a bigger story. There's a much bigger story. He's been saying that lately. And there is. And I was guessing my theory, he is saying the theme is like war and peace, and the theme is faith, hope, and charity. And the greatest of these is charity, which is love. And I think that is the message. You know, we're soon to find out. We're soon to find out, you know, on theories and such.
Yeah.
But the poem is incredible. It's totally incredible. And another thing, once you solve it, you realize that people that say that they found it and they go through and there's a hole there and somebody took it, it's laughable if you understand the solve, because the solve, my theory, it takes you. There's no doubt. There's no doubt about it. Absolutely no doubt. There's just, it has to be where it is because of his directions in the poem and the book. You know, once you figure it out, there's just, I mean, he's got it set up where there's just no contest as far as, you know, challenge on it, because it has, you know, because of the way he's done it.
So,
and go ahead.
You said something that I want to ask about. So
Sure.
First of all, I took your 1-inch square and a 20 by 20 puzzle. That would make a puzzle of 57,600 pieces.
It's huge. And
so
I
you
would
think it's pretty good size.
I would say it's 3-dimensional. He said he was an architect and he built a house, basically. I don't know if it's
3-dimensional. I don't know
Yeah.
if my calculator would do that. While I'm doing this calculation, tell me what you mean by the phrase, and these are your words, we are soon to find out. What do you mean by that?
Okay, I believe, I have no way to contact him. I'm trying to like make a little poem so he'll know what I know. Say that again.
You said we're soon to find out.
Okay, I have a team.
And you were referring to one of two things: either the complexity, how complex the poem was, or where the treasure is. What were you? That's why I'm asking. When you said we're soon to find out, what is it that we are soon to find out?
We're soon to find out the location as soon as the virus thing is lifted. I have a team together, and we're trying to put together a nonprofit organization so that anything that we would pay in taxes, that could go to really help people, to feed people and shelter people. And I get emotional about this because this is really, this has been a long. Well, actually, it's been 5 months. That's nothing compared to 15 years, but it's like incredible. I'm on my knees every day praying about show me. And the reason I can say it's not me that found it, Forrest said that two people can keep a secret as long as one person is dead. Well, God isn't dead. And I prayed about where is it? You've interpreted dreams through the Bible, riddles. My God is not dead.
So is your God helping you find this treasure?
Absolutely, yes. It's for His honor and glory.
And do you think your God, or perhaps Forrest's God, helped him to place the treasure, to hide the treasure?
Absolutely. I think he inspired him.
So I guess I have to assume that do you and Forrest share the same God?
I don't know. I don't know. But I know he said he couldn't take it with him, but he can take it with him if it's converted to good deeds and such, I believe.
In what state are you looking?
Well, let me refer a video to you.
Okay.
I'm looking in the state of sin. Okay, I got to get a little humor here. It's emotional.
Well, that's okay. I've heard other people use that kind of humor when they're looking.
But I will give you that answer, but you'll need to go to a website to look it up.
Well, there's only 4 states.
Right. Well, this will tell you if you watch this little video. And the name on it is Kevin Zadai, spelled Zadai.
Hold on.
And it's a near-death experience, NDE. And you will find out the state by watching that.
All right. So I can't do that now because...
Yeah, right. Okay. That's good. Okay. But I have spent about 11 years of my life. I think I was telling you before that I would like to be the one that found the cure for cancer. Well, I have spent 11 years of my life working on medical research. I have no formal education,
Mm-hmm.
but I put together I never thought of it as a puzzle before or a riddle. I just never had time to finish it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a 24-hour um, puzzle is the way I don't really know how to describe it. It's like everything that happens in your body. It's about discovering um, the cause of different illnesses.
Mm-hmm.
But I have it all set up. But I never thought of it as a puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
But what it would be like, okay, once you can run these the different with the information I have, you can run different illnesses through that. And I'm sure people could pick out whatever they wanted because all the illnesses are within a 24-hour time frame, and the way
Uh-huh.
it switches, and it would be a epic solve because they could all pick, and we could just have people donate to the different illnesses they want to
Mm-hmm.
work on.
So as you're probably aware, we're
Mm,
dealing with an illness, um, SARS
right.
CoV-2.
Mm-hmm.
That's the illness, but it is produced by a virus.
Right. Right.
How
Right.
can your approach to all of this help in the understanding of the virus enough so that a vaccine could be created?
I'm not sure that it would apply to that. Well, eventually it would, but
Mm-hmm.
that is not the solve that I was working on. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure it's involved in that.
Yeah.
But what I did years ago, and I'm thinking, how, because I prayed about that, and I
Mm-hmm.
spent 11 years on my knees and putting this together, and I thought I don't want to die. I mean, what good is this if it doesn't get out to the public? It's how the brain works. That's what I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to figure out,
Mm-hmm.
and this is how the brain works, and how you know um, how the system works between proteins and carbohydrates and fats, and how it switches back and forth. It's very fascinating, actually, and I've got so much information. But I'm responsible. And at one point, I had to go back to work, and I couldn't just sit there and work on it. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking, I can run several illnesses through it that even doctors, when I presented at one point, they couldn't believe what they saw. They said, you're coming about it from a totally different standpoint, but you've got it.
So let me
And
ask you some
yes,
questions. So I
sure.
did the calculation of the 20-foot by 20-foot three-dimensional.
Yes.
There
What
are
do we have?
13,800,000 puzzle
Oh,
pieces.
my goodness.
Yeah, and well, 13
I
million.
don't think it's that big. I think
Oh, okay.
maybe a clue, and I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I'm not, I'd like to know if that little olive jar, that little autobiography did has the solve in it. I don't know. I don't know if there's any information on that, but I
Well,
don't think he would.
what difference would it make if the only way you could possibly know that is if you had the olive jar in your hands, therefore you would have the treasure in your possession? Why put
Right.
the theory in there?
The theory in there would be I would like to explain it before it's opened.
So where are your so I'm almost hesitant to ask you this question because
Okay.
it sounds to me like you haven't taken the more commonly accepted approach to resolving the clues in the poem.
Right.
So let me ask you just to give me some
Sure.
context. Is
Sure.
the first clue in the poem for you begin at where warm waters halt?
Yes, it is.
It is, and following that, there are 8 more clues besides that one. Do you is that what you believe?
Yes.
And that the pursuit of this will end someplace around look quickly down your quest to cease.
Yes.
All right.
Absolutely.
So that seems pretty straightforward to me, right?
Hmm.
9
Hmm.
clues begin at where warm waters halt, ending where look quickly down. What is it that you've done that turns it into this complex, multi-dimensional scenario of 13,824,000 pieces?
That sounds like way too many. But he said there's 20,000 words in that biography inside the chest.
Right.
I don't. I kind of visualize it. Maybe if it was three dimensional, maybe 10 by 10. I don't know. He said he was the architect when he did it, and there's a foundation. I know how you lay it out. The book tells you exactly how to do it, and it's incredible. I certainly don't have all the little clues, all the rest of them. I mean, I have the 9 clues, and I probably have if I was building this theoretical three-dimensional puzzle house, whatever you want to call it, it would they're all everything is related. What was the question? I'm sorry. My mind just
you answered my question, but then you went on. Okay. So I didn't have a question after that first one, but I do now.
Okay.
So you said you were very nervous. You've expressed a broad variety of emotions on this one call.
I know.
So I have to ask, what is it that you're calling for?
I think if people understood this, that it will give people hope in this time of
hold on.
really
so
need.
let's go back. We just talked about that, right?
Okay.
What makes you think that people don't understand this? Because that sounds very self-centered to me, that you're the only one that understands this. What makes you think?
Well, I'm not the only. Well, it seems to have come so fast. There are a few people whom I'm not going to name that we've decided to, give them some,
breathing
compensation.
Room.
Some compensation for parts that they've done that, I didn't have to do. I think I could have done them, but it was already there. So there are a few people that we are going to compensate them for part of the salt. And anyway, it's epic. I mean, ask me any question you want to ask.
All right. So I am going to ask you any questions.
Okay.
All right. Considering that it is public knowledge that I am agnostic when it comes to religion and the state of this treasure hunt, what made you decide to call me?
Well, I was also going to call K-Pro as well.
Okay. All right. So you're
because
you're an equal opportunity caller?
Well, yes.
All right.
I need someone to monetize, and I think you would be very good at that.
Yeah, for an agnostic, I can make money.
I know. I feel like that is your talent.
Yeah.
Solving the problem, I think you need to put Shelley on. I'm sorry.
I'm grateful she is here. And I'm glad
she is more intuitive.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
and I'm grateful that she's the other half of this partnership. So
you need to switch places for a while, I think.
You think? Let her run the program?
Well, until it's solved and everything's wrapped up.
Yeah. Okay, so you didn't tell me what state. I can't go.
It's in Mexico, but I would ask you to New Mexico. I would ask you to go to that website and see, and it will give you more information.
I'm glad you corrected. I'm glad you corrected that from Mexico to New Mexico.
Yeah.
So, what do you suggest? So, there was a lot of nobodies and a lot of anybodies and things like that. There's over 200 people listening to this conversation right now.
Okay.
And you seem like a person with a good heart. And if there was a soul, I would say you even have a good soul.
Thank you.
So since you're generally speaking a good person, what would you recommend to these over 200 people in the room when it comes to this treasure, without telling them they don't know anything, because we don't want to do that?
I'm not telling them that because I'm doing it because we're going to compensate them.
Yeah.
I would say pray for me, please, if you believe in God.
Okay.
And I would say things are going to get better. And there's a higher power. I believe his name is Jesus Christ, and I have to say that. He is going to say, if I find it, you can either say it. I mean, we won't know until I get there, right? I'm saying it's a prophecy. You can call me a rooster, but I'm prophesying that as soon as this is lifted, that we can all go, and I can show you and tell you exactly what the clues are. And there's a few people have got on the right track, but they haven't put it all together at all. And when they realize,
we can't. So I'm going to correct you again. We can't possibly know that there are not people that have figured it out. We can't know that.
Well, that's
right?
okay.
We don't,
that's
because
true.
I can't know that, and you can't know that, and maybe even your God knows that, but you and I can't, right?
Okay, that's
so.
Fair
Tell
enough.
me when I will hear from you again. I may hear from you again, but give me an idea when you're going to call and tell me that you have the treasure.
Well, we're trying to get the attorneys and everything set up. There's a lot of legal work that we're trying to get taken care of up front.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
As soon as the the bands lift where we can travel.
Yeah. So you're in California?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I mean, can I say something to Joe, Treasure Hunter? Not,
Joe.
Rio Grande.
Rio Grande Joe. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, he'll pick up on it.
He's a great guy. I thought, I'm just being myself. I mean, I'm praying about it. I said, Lord, does he have, because I just want to
go ahead and say it.
Okay, I'm going to say it. Rio Grande Joe, you misinterpreted the home of Brown. I think you're at Angel Fire. Okay, that's it.
All right. Well, thank you very much for having the courage to call in and tell us your story. We look forward to hearing from you if there's other things that you'd like to share, not just with me, because I said there's a whole bunch of people in this room that are listening to the call. So you're sharing all of this with them.
Right.
And we can't make absolute statements like nobody and anybody.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
And so I'll always call you on those because we can't possibly know if there are anybody's or nobody's, right?
Absolutely.
Because there are plenty of people working on this.
Proof is in the pudding.
That's right. So whoever comes up with it first comes up with it first.
Absolutely.
Good luck on your treasure hunt.
Can I say, whatever, and that's fine. Oh, one other thing.
Go ahead.
What I'd like to do is I would like to put a kind of little poem together that maybe Forrest Fenn could hear. I have no way to email him because of the situation.
Okay.
So can I call back with like a little?
You can, but I will advise you that the likelihood of Forrest listening to a poem that was read on my channel is slim to none. I would recommend this. That's probably one for Christy.
Okay. You're right. You know what? That's really good advice.
And I'm just being honest with you.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
You may know.
But I will also say that the people who call in and say there was a hole there, when you know the true solve, it's laughable. It is truly laughable.
Absolutely. I agree with you.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you for listening.
My pleasure. I'm glad that I could.
I wish everybody the best.
Thank you. You have a good evening. The best to you as well. Be safe. Be healthy.
Same to you. Thank you very much.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Phone lines are open, 202-815-1171. Wasn't that a relaxing, calming voice in all of that? I got a text message.
Yeah.
I got a text message. Let's see what our text message.
Went to sleep.
See, that was. Does 8.25 miles mean? So 281, let me know.
Call me just before I go to bed. Just talk like that.
Me? Call you? Yeah, I'm sure. Kevin isn't home, right? Yeah. Does 8.25 miles?
$20 in Super Chat.
Oh, we did?
Yeah. Mr. Worm.
Thank you, Sturm. Let's see what he had to say. Get him T-slice. Then hang up. She needs Jesus. Yeah, well, we treat everybody with respect here until they decide they don't want to be treated with respect, and that has happened on occasion. But I think the people that call know that we're gonna be gentle with them until they go off the edge. I'm not, and then you know what? I'm not gonna play the rooster video for her because she has very strong beliefs, and probably like all of us is going through that phase where, we know where it is. We're gonna go get it as soon as this thing is over. So the difference between her story and a lot of others I've heard is that it is told in a much more calming voice. I mean, compare that to the conversations I have with Barry, for example, and you'll see what I mean. This is from Triangel. Does 8.25 miles mean anything else other than north of Santa Fe? Yes, because it was in reference to Santa Fe. Now, he didn't write, we've spoken this before, he didn't actually write, we don't believe, it is not our opinion, it is our opinion that he didn't actually write, I have to come back to this. Hey, you reached Toby and Shelley. What's your name? Where are you calling from? And what's the story on the Forrest Fenn treasure hunt?
Hey, what's up, Toby?
Hey, you know what you're going to need to do? You need to turn off your audio in the background. Otherwise, it's just going to get confusing. Whatever's on there.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Yeah, you're a little bit loud, but I can adjust that. So what's your name? What's your name, and where are you calling from?
My name is Jason, and I'm calling from Syracuse area, closer to Buffalo. Get a little nervous on the phone, you know?
Oh, don't be nervous. If that woman that called before with her story wasn't nervous, there's no reason why you should be. Hang on just 1 second. I've got to address this right. Maria? Maria, she says, was there a second visit to the Chama River video after 4/3/18? I never went back to the Chama except to trout fish. After I made my initial recon of the area, I never went back.
This phone's going to die.
Okay.
This phone's going to die. I'm going to call you back.
Okay, yay. Thank you. That phone is going to die. All right. Phone lines are open. Phone lines. I thought I saw a voicemail. I'm always hesitant to open up voicemails. Let's see what we got here. Oh, that's Buffalo. That's the same guy. All right. And then St. Mary's, is that Barry?
Hey, Toby, this is Barry Martin. Hey, if you got a couple of minutes, I'd like to go over a few things if you didn't mind. Thanks, sir.
Okay, that is Barry. So let's call Barry. And
hey, Toby, this is Barry Martin.
Okay, hold on. And let's look at the difference between that conversation and the one we just had with a with a lady from.
Shelley.
Hey, Barry, it's Toby and Shelley from A Gypsy Kiss. How are you doing?
Pretty good, man. How about you?
I am doing outstanding, although I would like to spend a little bit more time out of my house. But such is the nature of this particular beast.
I know what you mean. Hey, I've been listening to your show, and I will try to be more calmer, man. It's just, you don't know what I've been through, Toby. And
you know what,
I'm sorry
Barry?
about getting excited, man, but this is a time that
Barry,
you just don't realize.
Barry?
Yes, sir.
I am not going to get upset about you getting excited. This is a thing, this treasure hunt can make anybody. It certainly makes me excited. It makes Shelley, you haven't seen Shelley when she's jumping up and down about the seriousness of her theory. So it makes everybody excited. So I can handle it. I'm a big boy. Go ahead.
It does and everything. And I just wanted to say that if any of your listeners has any questions that they want to do through chat, let me know, and I'll let them know anything to do with this poem of any questions. But I'd like to go over a little fact and everything that I was listening to you the other day. I think it's like Friday night or something like that.
Uh-huh.
And they was talking about the bracelet and stuff like that. Well, I'd like to put in a little interesting fact in there. I know it ain't in the poem and everything, but a little interesting fact, if you don't mind.
Go, feel free. We'd love to listen.
The bracelet that he actually won there, he won this bracelet from a guy's granddaddy. And his granddaddy owned Blvd Ranch, which is right there at Kerwin. You have to go through Blvd Ranch to get to Kerwin. This is the man that it was originally his bracelet, but his grandson got it, and he lost it to him. Well, his granddaddy owned Blvd Ranch there that is in Kerwin there, right before Kerwin, on the way out to Kerwin. I thought that was an interesting fact of stuff that y'all was talking about. And there was another one where a guy called in talking about the home of Brown. And, well, he kind of proved my theory as of what my solve is with Brown, other than when he said he couldn't find nothing on a nickname. Well, this ain't in gold that this was a nickname. It was something that people preferred her to. So I just wanted to straighten that man out on that part of it.
Oh, you mean in reference to Amelia Earhart?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Her name being a nickname instead, whether it was a nickname or whatever, that's a phrase, or I don't know if you can even look up a nickname but this is what she went by. This was in her album, and this is what she was known for and everything. So I just wanted to, let them two things in on stuff that I'd heard y'all talking about. But anything that y'all want to know about this poem, if you follow my solve down, you're going to see that this is the solve, man. And I'm going to be as calm as I can. But if anybody has any questions on that poem, now off the poem, I won't guarantee a true answer.
Yeah.
Because I hadn't researched anything. But if it has to do with that poem and they have a question about it, I'll give my opinion and they can take it for what they want or anything, but once you get to the home of the Brown, from there I can explain it to you, but this is a boots on the ground. But whenever you do something like this and you get to your clue, and just like Forrest has said himself, people gets to the second clue and they walk right past the second or third clue and they walk right past it. You do have to catch these clues in order. And once you catch every one of these clues in order and you're standing there, you realize there's nothing else at this point. I have fulfilled this point. And you're standing in that spot, and there's a feeling that comes over you like you won't never believe. And when you're standing there and you put all this together, there's not another, you can't go somewhere else. Me and my wife had talked about it, and we both come to the conclusion there's no more hunting because there's no more clues. We have fulfilled this thing. From the top to the bottom, we have put everything in there. And it isn't like, well, I don't know about this, or where's this, or how does this go? We have put this thing together from top to bottom. And when you're standing there in that river in ice cold water, you realize the last parts of what he was saying then. It'll be worth the cold, because maybe it is cold. I like to froze to death in that water. They wanted me to stand in the water. Well, he said, hold on. Tom said, hold on and let me get a picture of you in the water. I said, no, dude, it's too cold. I can't stand out here. And I had to get out of there. And then I had to get back in later. But yeah, all this goes in together all the way down. So when you put something together and you follow every one of these clues, it can't be nowhere else. It's there. You're looking at it. You see it. It's all put together. There's nothing else you can do from this part, because if you go to another state and find another home of the Brown, you're not going to find all these other things here. You're going to walk right past them, because this is what follows the poem down. I'm not getting off the poem, and I'm not in some crazy thing here. I'm just trying to let everybody know. Me and my wife talked about it on the way home. What if somebody else gets hurt doing this? Should you let everybody know? Well, we kind of stayed quiet about it for a while. We was worried about it.
Yeah.
But this is, and you can't put everything together and say it's not together. Every bit of this poem is right there, man.
Yeah.
And so if anybody has any questions, and then I'll answer these questions for them.
What's your chat room handle?
My chat room handle?
Yeah, so they have to address, so should they just address you as Barry?
Oh, I glance in that thing every now and then, but I don't have my glasses on when I'm listening to you. I'm usually got the earphones in.
Yeah.
I don't do too much of this. I'm not a computer guy. I'm not a real smart guy. I'm not a dummy or nothing like this, but I'm not a computer-oriented people.
Right.
I can text, stuff like that, but if they want to ask me, just tell them to call, and I'll ask it,
I
I'm
see
not
what you're saying.
going to sit down and read all that chat, but just do it as Barry, man.
All right.
I'm not scared of nothing, and I'm not making nothing up, man, but Toby, when you put something together like I put this together, and I stuck to what Forrest told us to do.
Yeah.
Don't be jumping around. Don't be jumping around. Follow this thing down and make sure this clue's here before you jump over here and get this one. Well, once I done that, this took me right there to the Wood River, dude. And I'm standing in the Wood River. And this is the last part of it, you know. And so when I'm looking at the blaze and I'm standing in the Wood River, I can't move and make this poem work. If I go 25 foot down the river, this poem ain't going to work.
Right.
This poem works right where I'm standing.
All right. Okay.
Everything works. I'm looking at the blaze and I'm looking at the hole and I'm in the Wood River.
All right. I'll make sure that if anybody has questions for you, we get them to you one way or the other. All right?
Okay, Toby, y'all stay safe and try to stay to yourself until all this is over, man. I know it's hard, but hey, man, I have enjoyed this time off, dude. I've got to spend so much time with my grandkids around here. Oh, I don't even want to go back to work, man.
So let me ask you a question. Are you out on your porch?
Yes, sir.
Oh, is that...
I'm in my driveway just walking around.
Are there frogs nearby? Are those frogs that I hear?
Yes, sir. It's been raining for the last 3 days, and there's some little water frogs down here.
All right. Well, Barry, thank you for calling in. Well, thank you for letting me call you. I appreciate it. You have a good evening. Stay safe. Stay healthy.
Take care, man.
Stay isolated, and make sure you wash your hands a lot.
Y'all take care.
You too. Bye-bye. Oh, didn't do that right. Hey, I'm not sure who I have. Hey, you've reached Toby and Shelley with Gypsy Kiss. What's your name? Where are you calling from? And what is the nature of your conversation? Hang on. Let me do something real quick before you.
Hey,
Maria,
Toby, how you doing?
Maria, thank you for that. When you go back to the Rio Rancho, have a good time. It's a beautiful river. I'm sorry. What's your name?
Oh, no problem. This is Mr. Anonymous. How you doing tonight? Toby,
Mr.
Shelley?
Anonymous. From where?
Well, I was living in New Mexico for the last several years, and now I'm up here in Denver.
Yeah.
Yeah. How you guys doing tonight?
Good.
Did we lose him? Did we lose him? Are you still there?
I hear him. Don't you?
I'm still here.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, my phone started beeping at me.
No worries.
But what I wanted to talk to you about was, confirmation bias for one. I mean, obviously, I've been watching the show tonight, and you have a lot of different people that are very, positive in their solves, and I believe it's very easy for people to perceive things from their own perspective, which I think is actually really cool, because I think a lot of people, kind of see it, like, say, from a religious perspective or from whatever motivates them personally,
Yeah.
But I called in a couple months ago at the end of fall. I was going boots on the ground. I've been boots on the ground a whole bunch of times in my area. And then when I spoke to you, I told you that, I believe that the possibility of like lead searchers was a possibility, because at the time you were saying that you didn't feel there was anything such as a lead searcher because there's no way to, prove it or whatever.
Well, I said that because anybody could claim to be the lead searcher. So,
well, yeah, absolutely, understandably so. But I had mentioned that if I moved to Denver and I hadn't found it last fall, that I was gonna spill some beans and get it, in a smaller area.
Yeah,
I've since changed my mind
about spilling the beans.
Yeah, I'm spilling the beans just because, much like, a lot of other people, I'm extraordinarily confident in my solve. But so I was going to see if you could throw me on the rooster roster, we'll say by the 4th of July. And I'll say also, I know a lot of people feel the same way, and, people are right or wrong, you see when you get there. But I definitely am very confident that I have not just the poem solved, have every single clue in the whole book figured out. And you guys,
Let me ask you one question about that.
Yeah.
Exclusive of the poem, how many other clues did you find in the book?
There's a ton of them sprinkled all over the place.
Ton. A ton is hard to measure for me. Give me a number to work with.
I would say reasonably, there's probably a couple different chapters that don't have any relevance, but I would say 85% of the book has clues sprinkled out through it, and it's just a matter of your perspective and deduction or whatever. So what
name shall I use for the Rooster roster in July?
Mr. Anonymous.
Okay.
But I don't know. I'm always really interested in divulging information, but I think that's one of the biggest things is I've noticed the search community is definitely taking a turn and getting more things figured out. And last time I called, I had spoke to you about that particular thing where I said, a lead searcher is possibility because of the fact that there are different things that you can learn that show you're making progress. So, for example, The Catcher in the Rye, people are just now catching on to the fact that a portion of the book is written from the main character's perspective.
Yeah.
And that's just one thing. That's the very tip of the iceberg. And I have everything figured out 100% from my personal, perspective.
Right.
Which there's a lot more to it. You hear a lot of people call in and say how in depth it is, and et cetera, et cetera.
Well, you heard the lady that called the other night a multi-dimensional puzzle of 1-inch pieces in a 20 by 20 by 20 format.
Yeah, I did hear that.
Yeah. So let me ask you. Let me ask you one quick question before we have to hang up because I've got to end the show here. Why did you pick July 4th?
Just kind of following what Forrest's saying here with the, with all the things that are going on in the world. I'm gonna kind of bide my time and head out after things have settled down.
Yeah. So does your theory your solution theory depend on the poem, the 9 clues in the poem, or all the other clues that you found in the book?
I'll say this. So I think one of the biggest problems that the entire community has had is the fact that, nobody is.
No, we're getting into absolutes. We can't say
all the pieces of the puzzle.
I'm going to start questioning. So we can't say that. We don't know, right? We don't know what anybody or nobody is doing, right?
Yeah. Well, absolutely. I understand what you mean there. Yeah.
Yeah. So whatever anybody else does, you can only hope that you do it before they do. That's the only thing. So because we don't know, if I were to say everybody is doing this and nobody is doing, I don't know that, and nobody. I can honestly say
that's very
nobody,
true. I mean,
nobody knows that, right?
There's a million different avenues that people could be on. But I was just going to say, one of the biggest things I think that is happening in kind of a larger majority or whatever is that things just are. I mean, Forrest is referenced like The Catcher in the Rye.
Yeah.
And how long did it take people to read The Catcher in the Rye? 10 years.
Well, we have to assume. Here's what you have to assume: that the person that was within 200 feet of the treasure,
Yeah.
could have picked up on that and could have read the chapter. The Catcher in the Rye. So you have to assume
absolutely.
that although the community has taken a specialized interest in it just now as a result of a video that was promoted by Fenn himself, that doesn't mean there haven't been other people that haven't used the Catcher in the Rye as a source for their source.
Well, that's definitely true.
Okay, do me a favor.
Just,
I got a couple of quick questions, then I got to go because it's 9:00. Number one, can you tell me what state you're searching in? You'll be in July.
I'd rather not really divulge any information, man.
Wait a minute. You've divulged a whole bunch of information already. What do you mean?
Well, yeah, that's true.
Why change
but,
course now? Have you been...
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it this way. Have you been boots on the ground in the state in which you think the treasure resides?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. All right. That's a good start. We can talk more. I'm going to have to close up because Shelley insists that she goes to bed right after the show is ended, and the show is ended.
All right, man. Well, you guys have a wonderful night, and good luck to everybody, and
thank you.
And have fun. Be careful.
Yeah. Stay healthy. Avoid being within 6 feet of sick people, and let's get through this.
Okay.
All right.
All right. You guys have a nice day.
You have a good evening. Thank you. I do want to say, there we go. I do want to say thank you to Jan Schutz for his almost, I'm sorry, why do I call him Jan? Who's Jan it's because he spells it that way, right? He spells
J
Anschutz. So his name is
his first name is Jeff.
Jeff Anschutz. And since he did that for us, where's my you ready for this? Because it was $9.99.
Okay.
Okay.
It's about time, I guess.
3, 2, 1, and. And now we're song. Hey. Okay, that's better. You know, that mic that you're using in that room drops your voice by about an octave. So it comes out very sexy ASMR. I think that's why people like listening. And
all righty, everybody. We appreciate you being here tonight and having a fun time in the chat room and all your super chatters and all our people who called in and sent us emails and texts. You make the show, man. I tell you what.
So
come back again soon. What?
Ian Leiferlin wants you would please blow a goodbye kiss to him.
Okay. Sounds a little weird. Why'd you do it?
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Or you do it too.
Ready?
Ready?
1, 2, 3. Mwah! There we go, Ian. Just for you. It is, after all, a Gypsy's Kiss.
There you go.
All right.
And for a Gypsy's Kiss, Humpday Hoedown, I'm the Magic Treasure Princess, life coach to the rich and famous. Cheers, and have a good night. I'm Shelley Carney.
And I'm Toby Younis. Thanks for joining us tonight. I hope you guys had as much fun as we did. Interesting callers tonight. Huh? Ooh. Dang nabbit, that makes the show great. And I've used up all my outros, so we love you.